Yo, what's up everybody, Dragonheir here, and today I will show you my top 10 most used heroes for Dragonheir Season 2. It's gonna be a little bit biased because I do not have all the heroes in the game, and I started a lot of free-to-play challenges this season. And it's not about like top 10 most broken heroes or like top 10 best heroes in the game. It's about the top 10 heroes that I use the most in this season to achieve some of the cool stuff that I managed to do. For example, finish top 5 in the Universe Expedition. So with that out of the way, let's go to the list.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Alright, so number 10 is Garrus. It's an amazing epic control hero that is very good because of his ultimate. He shoots a magic crossbow bolt in a designated direction. It's this 3 tiles wide range. And it has 100% chance of hitting knock up and knock back enemies to the furthest point possible. Then there is a 100% chance of hitting stun for 3 seconds and 100% chance of hitting recharging speed penalty. This hero is insanely good for these speedruns because he can push the enemies, the front line, to the back. He can stun them, inflicts them with recharging speed penalty, and because he groups them, you can use your AoE DPS to kill everybody. Because of him, you might be able to do like 10 seconds run, 11 seconds run in the Universe Expedition, which is amazing. I use him in almost every stage except for the boss stages, and that's why he's on my number 10 list. I wouldn't be able to do anything without this epic control hero. Really good hero. And for the builds, the most usual build that I do have is this Puppeteer Inspiration together with the Imperial Oath. So let's go over it. So Puppeteer Inspiration, it gives me accuracy resistance, and when the weaver casts an ultimate skill, allies of the same element gain 10% ultimate energy. So you want him to cast first, which is why I'm also using the Rift Hourglass for the artifact. Because whenever he casts first, he pushes everybody back, group them, then gives you ultimate energy, and then your DPS can go right after him and kill everybody, like one-shots everyone. What you want is focus on accuracy and lot of skill haste, which is why I'm using the Rift Hourglass. I mean, you can still use him even without the Rift Hourglass. You can use something like the Spiritual Incense Burner. It gives you HP accuracy and increases the Weaver's ultimate energy by 10% after unleashing ultimate skill. It's not the best, but it still works. It's the only problem with him is his ultimate. It is really slow. So his initial cast, even with all the stuff that I have, is 11.3 seconds. It's not counting the Rift Hourglass, the 100 skill haste, so he's casting a little bit faster. But you see, it's really slow. So you want as much skill haste as possible, and you can only get skill haste from these positive runes and negative runes, right? Right now, they are not gear. There is not gear for skill haste right now. Maybe in season 3, I don't know. I still haven't seen the gear sets. I know that they released it, but I still haven't go over it. I'm sorry, guys. I've been sick in the last couple of days, so that's why there was a lack of content. So, but whatever, who cares? So that was my number 10 hero. Really cool control hero, especially for Universe Expedition, for the speedruns. And now let's go to number 9. And at number 9, there is Rava. Amazing debuffer for the Frost School. And she is incredibly good for the progression and for the speedruns as well. So I use her for the speedruns in Universe Expedition, in Grave of Venom, and for progression I use her in the Goblin Lair, in Venom, from stage 1 all the way to stage 20. You can do stage 20 with her, and you can do speedrun kinda with her. So very cool epic hero. Another, easy hero to get, or really accessible hero. And she's amazing because of her ultimate. Let's go over it. So she summons a Nexus that lasts for 10 seconds in designated area. Is this a huge star-shaped area of effect? And it has, as well, every 1.5 seconds, it has 75% chance, scroll all the way to 100% chance of hitting Frost for 10 seconds. And also at the end, the Nexus will explode, dealing another 360% core damage. This is amazing. You can even squeeze a little bit of damage out of her. And a lot of debuffs, which is kinda why you want to use the Witch Remain on her. It helps her to put down the defense penalty, and she's very reliable because she does every 1.5 seconds instance of damage, right? So every 1.5 seconds, there is 60% chance to inflict defense penalty 2 on enemies. So very good hero for the progression, and even for the late game, you can still use her for the Grave of Venom and for the speedruns in Universe Expedition. So I was using her a lot, especially if you pair her with the hero that's next on the list, don't worry. But if you pair her with one specific hero, she's able to do amazing stuff. Like really cool stuff. And now let's go over her gear. So my most used gear is something like this, the Emissary Whisper together with Strike the Unprepared. It's kinda not usual, the Strike the Unprepared, but it helps you with damage. She can actually do some damage with this because the Weaver does 3% increased damage to enemies under defense penalty. and you want her to use which remains, right? So she will inflict the defense penalty and she will do more damage because of that. And the Emissary Whisper, it gives you accuracy, skill haste, and when the Weaver successfully inflicts a debuff, all allies do 10% more damage for 10 seconds. Amazing gear, especially on heroes like her. So you want to focus on some attack, accuracy, and a little bit of skill haste as well. And she will carry you from early games all the way to late game. For the equipment dungeons, you can use her for the Venom, you can use her for the Ruins. She's not that good in the other ones, but for the Venom and Ruins, she is pretty good. So amazing, epic debuffer slash damage dealer. Now let's go to number 9 on the list, and it's a duo. It's pretty much like a pair hero for Rava, I would say, and it's a Vidimir. Amazing DPS hero, really easy to build him. You just need some damage and crit rate, crit damage as well, and he will carry you in a Grave of Venom, in the speed runs, in bosses, you know, the challenge bosses, the continental challenge bosses. Even now in the late game, now for the end game boss, he's able to do 1 million damage per second. I finally made some teams. I'm kind of behind because I skipped the first 1 or 2 days in a boss. Wasn't able to play it. Doesn't matter. But he is amazing there. 1 million damage per second. Easy 200 plus million damage with him in the end game boss. And he's really good because of his ultimate. So he releases an ice ball that can bounce up to five times between enemies. So this is really good for the Grave of Venom. He can hit all 4 whips and the boss. So amazing ultimate. But why he is really good together with Rava is because of his passive. So when an enemy inflicted with the Frost dies, gains 20%, 25% attack up for 10 seconds and recharges ultimate energy by 15%. This is insanely good. Sometimes he can even cast back-to-back his ultimates. So that's insane. Like, he can do so much damage. Really cool hero, especially if you pair her with Rava. Those two are like the best duo in the game in my opinion. I will show you my usual build. Alright, so my normal build is something like this. I'm using all the mythical gear pieces and I'm focusing a lot of crit damage. I'm lacking the crit rate. I wish it's 100%, but unfortunately my equipment is not that good. I would have to sacrifice a little bit of attack or a little bit of crit damage to get that. But 83.5, almost 84% crit rate is decent. Sometimes you need to do, you know, reruns for the Heroes Expedition, for the speedruns. I had to do a couple of reruns, sometimes I didn't crit, but it's not that big of a deal. The crit damage is insane, 378, that's really good, and then 4.5k attack. And for the builds, as you see, I'm using the Chaos Symbiosis. For each ally of the same school present, the Weaver attacks increase by 6%. Then I'm using Imposing Presence. When the Weaver is at 100% HP, the damage dealt increased by 25%. So you always want to use him or in areas where they is not taking damage. Or you want to use him right after your healer. So your healer heals him. So he's at 100% HP and then he can do more damage, right? So it's a really good gear, but you need to play around with it a little bit. Now, Strike the Unprepared. The Weaver does 3% increased damage to enemies under defense penalty, classic, and then Fearless Challenge. The Weaver does 16% increased damage to enemies with max HP higher than the hero by 50%. As you see, I don't have him built with that much HP, so usually the enemies will have more HP than he has, so he will do more damage to them. And for the artifact, I'm using the Whisper of the Consumer, because the Weaver's ultimate skill deals additional 5% target max HP through damage, not exceeding 200% of his attack. And if the target HP is below 10%, he can execute them. This is insanely good even for bosses. He can execute bosses at 10% HP. So this artifact is insanely good for speedruns. If you don't have this, you can use something like the Eyeball of the Giants. Gives you attack percentage, and the Weaver's ultimate skill gains 20% damage bonus. Or you can use even something like Ring of Winter. It helps him with the crit rate. If you don't have 100% crit rate, you can use something like this. And when the Weaver deals damage to an enemy under frost, there is 30% chance of creating Ice Storm at their position, inflicting 300% attack core damage on enemies within range. The Ice Storm can only be triggered once every 4 seconds if you have it at level 20. This is a decent artifact for him. Or you can also use something like, where is it? This one, the Arcane Music Box. The Weaver gains 20% damage bonus when they have a shield. Usually I'm playing with shielders as well, because I'm using the new gear from Season 2, the Devout Prayer, that boosts your damage as well. So you can use something like this. It helps you with the crit rate, you know, 30% crit rate, pretty good. If you're struggling to build him with 100% crit rate. So those are the options for the artifacts. And for the gear, if you don't have all the mythical gear, Another possibility that's good for him is something like the Executioner, the Imperial Executioner. It gives me attack, crit rate, and when the Weaver skills damage triggers a critical hit, the damage initially increased by 16%. So whenever his skills hits, oh, I mean hits, whenever his skills do crit, they will boost your damage, right? So this is really good. Or for the season 2, the Forbidden Ages works really well on him as well. Gives you attack and crit rate. And when casting a battle skill, ultimate skill, the Weaver deals 66% more damage for 10 seconds up to 4 stacks. And because sometimes he can cast his ultimate back to back, because if he kills all the enemies, not even him, whenever the enemies under frost dies, he gains the ultimate back, right? So he casts his ultimate, like 4, 5, 6 enemies dies, and he has the ultimate energy back to cast again. So he casts battle skill. Immediately after he can cast the ultimate, and then if he kills a lot of enemies, or if a lot of enemies dies or not healed, he can cast the ultimate again. So that's amazing. That's 3 stacks immediately. There's another 18% more damage, right? So this is really good gear for him. But as I said, focus on attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Really cool hero. You can speedrun Grave of Venom, Universe Expedition, and do a lot of cool stuff even against bosses. I think I was using him against the Resilience boss this time in Continental Challenge, and he was able to do around 170 million damage as like free-to-play team. And then now in the endgame boss, he's able to do around 230, I think, or 220 million damage to final boss. That's amazing. I am telling you, 1 million damage per second from Epic Hero. Really, really cool. So let's go to the number 7 now. And it's no one else than Alpha Narsi. It's a free legendary hero from season 2. I think it's from chapter 12 or chapter 14, something like that. And he is really good. He is a tank that can do a lot of shielding for you and boost your damage, you know, and your survivability as well. I'm talking about boosting damage from gear, not from skills. So let's go over his ultimate, because that one is really cool. So grants 15% max HP plus 3.6k enlightenment shield to each of the allies. While having this shield, they parry damage each time when taking damage and reducing damage by 10% defense. Amazing, amazing ultimate. It gives you a lot of shields, and also you can parry some of the damage that is dealt to you. Really, really cool. And he's really tanky. And for the builds, you can build him almost wherever you want, or like how you want. He's very flexible when it comes to build. My most used build is something like this, the Brotherhood Spirit together with the Devout Prayer. Because the Brotherhood Spirit gives me defense, and when the Weaver casts an ultimate skill, all allies elemental damage increased by 15%. Really cool. And whenever he uses the ultimate, he also gives you shield, right? So the Devout Prayer is really cool. Because when the Weaver grants a shield, the target deals 12% more damage for 10 seconds. So he gives the shield to whole team, and then your whole team is able to do 12% more damage. Really, really cool combo. And for the stats, I would focus on HP, defense, enlightenment, and some resistance as well. There are some stages where you don't want him to be feared or silenced or taunted, so you want to focus on resistance, which is why he's really flexible. For like the artifact, there are a lot of options. You can use the Aurelium Vest. Shield granted by the Weaver to an ally also reduces the damage done to the ally by 17.5%. Really cool, and it gives you a lot of HP and a lot of defense percentage. This is really good. You can do something like this if you don't have the mythical option. The Antiana, I have no idea, this crown. And it gives you defense enlightenment, and the Weaver grants up to 15% more shield, so he boosts his ultimate. Or you can use something like the Titan Rip, for example. It gives you HP resistance, so if you want to focus more on resistance, it's really cool. And upon resisting a negative effect, the Weaver increases all allies' damage by 15% for 10 seconds. Very, very cool if you're focusing on the resisting, right? On, you know, survivability, kind of. And there's another option, something like the Drugos Blast Jar, gives you HP defense, and when the Weaver takes damage, it has 30% chance of creating an energy blast, dealing 200% defense fire damage to surrounding enemies, and reducing their damage dealt by 15% for 5 seconds. The energy blast can only be triggered once every 2 seconds at level 20. Another good option. If you even don't have this, you can use something like the Scrap Amulet, gives you a lot of defense and shield whenever you drop below 30%. Or you can use even like the epic variations. You can use, what is it? This one, the Stone Cloak. That's really good as well on him. Or you can use something like the Giant Turtle or Spring Shell. As the battle starts, 15% max HP shield that lasts for 15 seconds, granted to each ally. Another cool option. But the best options are the Aurelium Vest, the Titan Rip, or the Diara's crown. And for the builds, as I said, very flexible hero. You can use the Brotherhood Spirit, or you can use something like the Tundra Tenacity, I believe. Gives you a lot of ultimate energy. You see here, it gives you HP accuracy. We don't care about accuracy, but HP is really nice. And the Weaver gains 1% ultimate energy each time taking damage. So if you want him to cast faster, you can use something like Tundra Tenacity. Or if you're using him in a Frost teams and you want to apply Frost with him, you can use something like a Frost Stain. Gives you accuracy, resistance. Not the best thing to get, but whatever. But if you have 3 pieces, when they taking damage, the Weaver has 50% chance of getting frozen on the attacker for 3 seconds. Really cool if you want him to inflict frost, right, on enemies. Because usually he's a tank, and you want everybody to focus on him, right? So he's soaking all the damage. So another cool option for him. Or if you want a lot of skill haste, you can use something like the Hope of Oasis, gives you HP skill haste. And when the Weaver's HP is above 70%, reduce damage taken by 20%. Another good option for him. But I'm mainly using him with the Brotherhood Spirit because I'm using the combination of him casting the ultimate, giving me shield, and then he's giving me the boost of damage from both of the gears, right? So very cool build. I'm using him a lot, or I was using him a lot in Fame Meander when I was doing my free-to-play challenge, how far I can get with only free-to-play heroes. And I think all the way up to stage 274, I believe, I was able to do it with only these heroes, like these epic heroes and free heroes. And I was using him on almost every stage. Really cool hero. He's actually really good for some of the bosses as well. If you don't have, crazy tanks and you want to do something more accessible, something more free-to-play friendly, he's pretty cool because of his shields, right? So very good hero. Really cool. And he's free, so what else to ask for? And the design on this hero, insane. He's reminding me of Lich King from World of Warcraft, right? Very cool design. Now let's go to number 6. And it's not a free legendary hero, and it's Gillian. And she is amazing. She is doing a lot of healing, a lot of defense, and also dispelling debuffs from you. Her ultimate is insanely good if you don't have that many healers on your account, or if your account is like fresh. She's amazing. So she heals all allies by 15% target max HP plus 3.5k enlightenment, dispels 1 debuff each from each ally, and grants defense up 2 for 10 seconds. This is amazing ultimate. Really cool. It's not the fastest ultimate, but still, 17.5 or 12 seconds and 20 seconds. I don't know how much skill haste I do, 20. So not the fastest ultimate, but still pretty cool. And she's amazing for dungeons like Heretical Ruins, where you want to dispel the burn from you. And she can give you the shield so you can survive the ultimate, right, from the boss. Or even you can even use her in Ancient Battlefield if you have a lot of resistance, so the boss is not stealing your buff. She is viable over there as well. But mainly I was using her for the Fame Meander. Oh, I'm sorry. I was mainly using her for the Fame Meander and for Universe Expedition, stuff like that. Really cool healer. And for the build, I would say my most use is this one, the Ancestor Protection. Gives me HP defense and decreases the Weaver's damage taken by 10%, while 15% of other allies' damage taken is transferred to her or to the Weaver, right? So very cool gear. And for the artifact, I would say use something like Mirror of the Living. Gives you HP, defense, and when the Weaver heals allies with HP below 40%, the amount of healing is increased by 30%. Pretty cool. And for the mythical options, you can use something like the Gatekeeper Staff. Gives you defense, skill haste. 100% of the overheal from the Weaver will be equally converted into shield, and she's doing a lot of healing on her ultimate. It's a single hit, or like single interval of heal, and it's pretty big heal. So she can give you some shielding as well. And for the other options, you can use even something like the Solokane Horn. It's not the best because she's not doing like heal over time. She's not doing like single interval of heal, even on her battle skill. Heals the ally with the lowest current HP by 10% target max HP plus some enlightenment and grants them 30% damage reduction. Another really cool skill on her kit. So the Solokane Horn, it's viable, but it's not the best, I would say. So mainly focus on the Gatekeeper Staff or the Mirror of the Living, or something like Luminary or the Gospel if you don't have many options, right? It's an epic variation for healers, and the healing from the Weaver increased by 15%. So it's not a good artifact for her. And for the gear, I would say the Ancestor Protection is the best one, but it really depends on what you need. If you want her with a little bit more skill haste, you can use something like the Hope of Oasis, or you can use this one, the new gear from Season 2, the Crescent Ward. Gives you HP Enlightenment, and when casting a battle skill ultimate skill, The Weaver heals the ally with the lowest current HP by 5% HP plus 1000 enlightenment, and this effect can only occur once every 8 seconds. This is not a very cool option for healers. So really good hero, amazing healer and cleanser. Really good. And she's free in the season 2, I think from chapter 8 or 10, something like that. So very friendly hero for your account. Now let's go to number 5, and it is Premsta. Amazing DPS dealer. I know she's not a free hero, but I was using her a lot in season 1 and now in season 2 as well for the bosses, for progression, and for the pillar trials, for Fey Meander at the end when I was like stuck with free-to-play teams. So when I was finishing the last 20-30 stages, I was using Premsta a lot as well because she's insanely good because of her ultimate. On her ultimate, she releases a Soul Torment dealing 520% necrotic damage to all enemies. Additionally, all ally undead summon units immediately trigger Tireless Devotion AoE damage. And that one is amazing. It's a passive. When ally undead demon summon units appear, they deal 60% attack derivative necrotic damage 7 times over 5 seconds to enemies within 1 tile around themselves. So you want to pair her with someone who does summoning, right? For example, Ledalia. I was using her with Ledalia for the Fey Meander, and they were working together really well. Because Ledalia is summoning demon on her ultimate, and then whenever she summons the demon, she can do more damage around that demon. Premsta, that's what I'm saying. Premsta can do more damage around the demon, right? And that demon can stay on the battlefield for a very long time, so she's able to do a lot of damage because of that. Really cool DPS hero. I was using her a lot in Ancient Battlefield. She can be your single DPS, like solo DPS for that one. You can use her for Grave of Curse. You can use her for speedruns sometimes. Not the best one, but it's possible. You can use her for Universe Expedition, for clearing the stages. For Fey Meander, really good hero. Whenever you need DPS, you need a lot of AoE damage, she's there. And she's mainly here on a position 5 because I'm using in every arena. She's my arena hero and I'm using her a lot because I don't have heroes like Rita and stuff like that. I have my Necrotic team, so I'm using her together with Rippercast and with Ledalia and with, I don't know if it's Zoltan, I think so. And then with one more hero, I can't remember right now, but doesn't matter. But she's in every single arena team that I have. So that's why she's ranked really high on my list, right? I'm not using her that much for PvE this season because I was focusing on different school. I was focusing on the Ice heroes, Ice Blast heroes, stuff like that. But for arena, she's always there for me. Really good hero. And for the builds, you want to focus on attack and enlightenment, maybe some survivability in the form of resistance or HP. And then for the gear, you can use mythical gear, or you can use something like the piece, the new legendary piece for season 2, and that's the Inventor's Inspiration. Gives you attack enlightenment and increased derivative damage dealt by the Weaver by 20%. This is very good gear for her. But if you have mythical gear, I would rather use the Strike the Unprepared, the Dead Record. Whenever the Weaver deals derivative damage, marks the target to increase the derivative damage taken by 20% for 12 seconds. This is very cool. Something like Bloodshade Mark works on her. At the start of the battle, the Weaver gains attack bonus equal to 20% of the attack of the ally with the highest attack. So this boosts her damage, the attack percentage she has. And then Fearless Challenger, another good option. The Weaver deals 60% increased damage to enemies with max HP higher than the hero by 50%. Or you can use something like the Chaos Symbiosis, another good gear for her. It gives her 6% attack increase for every ally of the same school present. So this works really well on her. Or you can use something like the Monelli's Teardrop. When the Weaver's HP drop to 0, gains immortality for 3 seconds and 15% damage reduction for 10 seconds. I'm sometimes using this for Arena. Whenever I feel like she will get one shot, I'm using this for her, to survive for another 3 seconds to cast her ultimate. Because the ultimate stays on the field, even if she dies, the ultimate is still there and still doing damage, right? So you just need her to cast the ultimate. So that's sometimes why I'm using the Monolith Teardrop on her. And she is really good. You want to focus on skill haste as well. And for the artifacts, I would say use the Queen's Fan. Gives you attack percentage, and derivative damage dealt by the Weaver gains a damage bonus based on the distance between the Weaver and the enemy increase by 7% per tile, with the damage bonus capped at 5 tiles. So the further away she is, capped at 5 tiles, she will do more damage. If you don't have this, you can use something like the Wild Ink. The Weaver's attack cannot trigger critical hit, but deal 35% more derivative damage. You are not focusing on crit rate, on crit damage, you're focusing on attack and enlightenment. So very good option for her. Now let's go to number 4. So my number 4 is Repercus. Another amazing hero. He is a tank, but he can do a lot of damage and he can inflict a lot of debuffs. So he fills all the roles in the game, in my opinion. I was really lucky to get him in season 1 twice actually. So I have him at +1, like 1 inspiration on him. And he's amazing. He's so versatile. You can use him in almost everywhere, like in almost every dungeon, every content in the game. He is amazing. And the builds are there is a ton of builds you can use on him. For example, this one I'm using Thunder Tenacity with Which Remains. So I'm focusing on accuracy and I want him to cast as soon as possible. So I'm focusing on accuracy, defense, and skill haste. And because of the Which Remains, he's able to inflict defense penalty and he does 3 hits on his ultimate. This guy is insane. Like, look at this. Launches 3 spirit attacks at enemies, each dealing 200% attack plus 100% defense necrotic damage to enemies within range, with 35% scroll to 50% chance of reducing their ultimate energy by 20%, and at 100% chance of lifting 1 random debuff from the following for 10 seconds. So every hit can inflict 1 debuff from this pool of 5 debuffs. So you can do attack penalty 2, recharging speed penalty, healing prohibition, accuracy penalty 2, or buff prohibition. And it's on each hit, right? So he can put down 3 random debuffs from this pool. Amazing. This hero is insanely good. And also on his water skill, he unleashes a wide range slash with 100% chance of knocking up enemies within range and deals 220% attack plus 150% defense necrotic damage with 100% chance of getting stunned for 3 seconds. So he's stunning like in this 3x3 square AoE, you know, really good hero. And that's not it. On his passive, the hero gains healing equal to 50% of the healing enemies receive. This effect can only be triggered once every 1 second. If you're facing someone who does a lot of healing over time, oh my god, he will be surviving for a very long time. And as I said, the build's very flexible hero. You can use, if you don't focus on accuracy, you can use something like the Titan Rip for the resistance. You can use something like the Drugo Blast Jar for defense and HP and doing damage and reducing the enemy damage, right? Or something like the Scrap Amulet Ring. It gives you a shield based on your defense whenever you fall below 30% HP. Another cool options when it comes to artifacts. And for the gear, wow, there's a lot of options, guys. Thunder Tenacity, really cool. You can use Frost Taint, not the best one, but it's possible. Hope of the Oasis can work if you want him to cast faster with the skill haste. That's another good option. Or you can use something like this one, the Holy Hunter. It's kind of cheesy build. It gives you accuracy, skill haste, and the Weaver deals 20. When the Weaver deals damage. Sorry guys, a lot of talking. So when the Weaver deals damage, has 20% chance of hitting stun for 3 seconds on the target, right? And he does 3 hits on his ultimate. So there is a lot of chance for him to inflict stun. So that's a cheesy build. It's not the best one, but it gives you HP, it gives you skill haste, accuracy, and you can do stun. Like it's decent build. It's not the typical, but it can do a lot of stuff for you. And for the mythical gear, you can use him for a lot of support. So you can even use something like this one. I will not even pronounce it. Each time the Weaver successfully inflicts a debuff, performs 2% max HP self-healing. This is pretty cool on him. Or you can use the Clean Sweep. When the Weaver's ultimate skill recharges completely, dispel all negative effects from the hero. So if you don't focus on resistance, maybe you can use something like this. Another cool option is Fight Poison with Poison. When the Weaver is inflicted with a negative effect, there is a 50% chance of hitting recharging speed penalty on the inflictor for 5 seconds. So he's your tank. He will be soaking a lot of debuff on him. So you can, reflect the debuffs back, kinda like not the debuffs, but inflicting the debuffer with the recharging speed penalty. That's a pretty cool option. You can use something like the Monolith Teardrop for Arena sometimes. When the Weaver's HP drop to 0, he gains immortality. This is decent one. You can use the Imperial Oath as well. When a Weaver successfully inflicts a control effect, if the target is already under a negative effect, reduce their ultimate energy by 10%. He does 3 different debuffs on his ultimate, right? So whenever he inflicts debuff, he will inflict the first hit will inflict debuff, and then immediately the second hit will inflict the debuff as well. So there is always a debuff on enemy whenever he does a debuff, right? so it will always proc the Imperial Oath. So it's pretty good gear as well. And I think that's kind of it when it comes to gear. It's very flexible unit, so there's a lot of builds you can use on him. But focus mainly on accuracy, defense, some skill haste, and maybe some HP as well. Amazing hero, really cool in almost every area of the game. And now let's go to my top 3 heroes. And then those are amazing hero. And the first one, the number 3, is Sheena. She is amazing, guys. I was focusing this season a lot on Ice Blast heroes, as you saw in my videos and everything. I did every dungeon with Ice Blast heroes, even the Grave of Venom. They are not the best for Grave of Venom, but you can make them work there. But they are insanely good when it comes to bosses. They are one-shotting bosses. They are insanely good. So whenever you want to one-shot boss, when there is not like ads of the boss, just single boss, oh my god, they will one-shot him. I'm doing a lot of speedruns with them, and they are able to speedrun the dungeons in like 12 to 17 seconds, something like that. They are insanely good. Really good. And Shinnok is amazing because of her ultimate. She's kind of like your booster, or like your opener kinda. Because of her, all the Ice Blast heroes can shine. Because on her ultimate, she can generate a lot of crystals. So continuously cast the spell for 6 seconds. During this period, strikes a random enemy every 0.5 seconds, each time dealing 80% attack core damage, with a 50% chance scroll to 75% chance of granting 1 stack of ice crystals to all Ice Blast allies. This is insane. She will generate so much ice crystals for you, and the ice crystals are very important for these heroes, because the Weaver's battle skill will gain an additional effect. Ice crystals can stack up to 5 times. So all the Ice Blast heroes have different mechanics based on how many ice crystals they have, and it will enhance their battle skills usually. And this is insane. This hero, she can do some damage as well, but she's here mainly to allow all the other Ice Blast heroes to shine. Like, very cool hero. She pairs really well with the Zorak and Beldila. Like, wow, these 3 heroes together, they are crazy good. For Vortex, for every boss pretty much, like, really cool heroes. The Ice Blast School is my favorite for Season 2. I decided to go for Ice Blast, and I was surprised how good they are. Like, wow, really good school. Let me show you my classic build, so give me a second. So here's my classic build. Whenever I'm using her together with the other Ice Blast heroes, and I don't have like debuffer, I have Zorak, her, and Berdila, I want her to put down defense penalty. Because she does a lot of strikes with the ultimate, so I'm focusing on accuracy and attack and skill haste. As you see, I'm using the Emissary Whisper together with the Strike the Alpiper to squeeze a little bit more damage out of her. And then for the artifact, I'm using the Witch Remains for defense penalty. You can use something like the Manticore statue, or you can use something like the Eyeball of the Giants if you want to do a lot of damage with her and you don't focus too much on the accuracy. Or you can use something like Blooms of Prina. It's an exclusive artifact for Ice Blast School. Gives you attack percentage, and when the Weaver consumes ice crystals, their next battle skill deals extra 25% damage. Really cool. Or you can use something like the Rift Hourglass. It gives you accuracy and gives you 100% extra skill haste if you want her to generate even more crystals. But usually that's not necessary because she will generate enough ice crystals for all the other heroes to do their damage. Amazing hero. She's kind of flexible. You can use different builds on her, but this is the mainly one I'm using because of the Vortex and stuff like that. Really cool, really good hero for a lot of speedruns. amazing hero. Now, for my number 2 on the list, it's actually a support, and that one I'm using almost everywhere, and it's Felocia. She is insane. I was so lucky to get her, and I'm still waiting for Huitar. Whenever I get Huitar, she will go to the arena, and I will be using Huitar together with Felocia and Lucian, because that team is broken in arena still. I know that the burn heroes are pretty good, but unlucky I don't have any of them. I have only Durum, only legendary hero that I have. But I saw some teams in arena, the burn teams, and they do a lot of damage as well. I'm still waiting for Huitar though, for Felocia to shine in the arena. But she's amazing in dungeons. Like, wow, her ultimate, one of the best ultimates in the game in my opinion. She grants 12.5% target max HP plus 2.9k enlightenment shield to each ally for 10 seconds and grants them 30% damage reduction and control immunity for 10 seconds. This is insane. You get shield, you get damage reduction, and you get control immunity. This is insane. She's amazing for Grave of Curse dungeon. Like with her, you can easily beat the boss. Even for the challenges, right? She's insanely good there. Like, wow. Shield, damage reduction, and control immunity, that's insane. Very good hero. And for the builds, so something like this. The Brotherhood Spirit is a similar build to Alpha Narsi. So you want to use Brotherhood Spirit, to boost the damage whenever you cast ultimate. Because your ultimate does shield, you want the Devout Prayer as well. That boosts your damage as well. And then, so she will give you shield, damage reduction, and 2 different instances of boost damage. This is insanely good build on her, in my opinion. And you want to focus on Enlightenment, HP, and a skill haste with her. Maybe some resistance as well, so she's not inflicted with any kind of recharging speed penalty or charm, down, stuff like that. So, Enlightenment, HP, resistance, skill haste. Very easy to build. And for the artifacts, you want something like the Aurelian Vest, boost your shield, or the crown, similar to Alpha Narsi. Very similar because of the same mechanics, the shielding and boost your damage. And she is insane. Once again, one of the best heroes in the game. Very good hero for all the area of the game. Amazing. And now let's go to the number 1, the best hero in the game, or best hero on my account at least, and it's no one else than Berdila. She is insane, guys. Wow, this hero can one-shot anything in the game very fast, like really fast. You don't need, it's not like a Flora, because Flora takes time, right, to build her damage. No, Berdila, she takes like 20 seconds and she's doing like 600k to 1 million damage per second. She's insane. Very cool. And now let's go to her kit. So on her ultimate, she strikes an enemy 3 times, each dealing 300% attack core damage with 50% chance of gaining 1 stack of ice crystal. She's not that good when it comes to generating ice crystals, which is why you want to pair her with someone like Shinnach. But her butter skill, wow, that one hits hard. She does 420% attack core damage to enemy, ignoring the target's shield and increasing damage dealt by 50% against shielded units. Afterwards, the hero gains crit damage up for 5 seconds up to 5 stacks, and each stack gives you 30% crit damage. This is insane. And because of her passive, she can cast the butter skill twice. So if the hero has ice crystals, after casting a butter skill, consume 1 stack of ice crystals and cast the skill again. Add over 3 stacks of ice crystals, converts 300% of excess crit rate into crit damage. She is insane. And if you pair her with someone like Shinnach and Zorak, they are boosting your crit rate as well. Plus, the Ice Blast School, they gain crit rate as well, as you see here. For the first 5 minutes of the battle, the crit rate of Ice Blast heroes triggering critical hits with basic attacks and skill is increased by 30%. So for the first 5 minutes of the battle, they gain 30% crit rate up. So she is amazing. Like, you want to build her with 100% crit rate still, because, more crit rate means more crit damage, because she will convert it, right? And she will do crazy amount of damage. Also, I went for her twice, for her banner, so I got her exclusive artifact, and that one is insanely good. Gives you attack, not a crit rate, so with this artifact she's very easy to build when it comes to crit rate. And Berdila deals 60% more runaway storm damage, which is her butter skill, right? So she's doing 60% more damage, while increasing the percentage of crit damage converted into mortal wound by 60% for Frost Favor, which is her passive. So it will increase her passive and her butter skill. This artifact makes it even better, like she's doing almost twice her damage. But even without the artifact, she can still one-shot all the bosses in the game. So, very cool hero. For the builds, give me a second, I will show you my builds for her. So here is my most common build on her. As you see, I'm focusing on a little bit of HP and a lot of attack, crit rate, and crit damage. I have 6.2k attack, 111% crit rate, and 298 crit damage. Maybe I can focus more on crit damage instead of crit rate, because I have a lot of crit rate, but she can convert it right to the crit damage, so it works like this. For the artifacts, I'm using the classic mythical gear, so Chaos Symbiosis, Imposing Presence, Strike the Unprepared, and Fearless Challenger. Maybe you can use something else. Maybe you can use the new artifact for Season 2, the Skyfire Sun. The Weaver deals 30% more damage through Poison, Blast, and Lightning Chain. I don't know if this works, because I don't have that many good pieces of this gear, so I'm not using it too much. I was kind of unlucky with this gear. But even like this, she can do crazy amount of damage, like million, even 2 million damage per second sometimes. This hero is insane, like very, very good. I'm telling you, I'll use her for every speedrun, even for every dungeon speedrun. I was lucky this season and I got like the achievement for the first one to be the Grave of Venom, I think. No, Grave of Rot, Grave of Curse in 18 seconds or under 18 seconds. I was lucky and I did it because of Berdila. The Ice Blast heroes are insanely good for dungeons and bosses. So this is my classic build. A lot of crit rate, a lot of crit damage, even on the runes. I'm focusing on crit damage here, I'm focusing on crit rate here, and in here I'm focusing on attack percentage, and crit damage because I already have my crit rate cap. So that's the build. Berdila, number 1 hero on my account. I'm using her everywhere. If I'm not doing free-to-play challenge, I'm using her. That's pretty much it. Like, she is insanely good. Ice Blast heroes are really good everywhere. Except for, like, Grave of Venom. They kind of struggle with Grave of Venom, but if you have them built really strong, they can one-shot even Grave of Venom, because they are not caring about the wisps. They are still doing crazy amount of damage to the boss, so they can still one-shot it. But amazing school and amazing heroes. I didn't put Zorak on a list because usually I'm not using him that much. If I'm using Ice Blast heroes, I only have space for 2 of them. I'm using Berdila together with Shinnach. But whenever I have all 3 of them able to use, whenever I'm able to use all 3 of the Ice Blast heroes, I'm using all 3 of them the most, I would say. So, honorable mention, Zorak, he will be like number 11. Whenever I'm able to put all 3 Ice Blast heroes, he's definitely there. So that's my list, guys. Those are my top 10 most used heroes in the game in the season 2. I hope you found this video entertaining. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know down below in the comment section what are your top 5 or top 10 most used heroes in this season. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!